Hi everyone, welcome back to the Lilac House. I'm Crystal. I make a lot of videos about cleaning and organizing, frugal living, Dollar Tree hauls, and recipes. I think there is something so magical about a meal being cooked in the slow cooker, especially during the winter time. It's cozy, it's magical, and it's delicious. Today I'm sharing with you 3 slow cooker meals that are some of my family's staples. I hope this video leaves you wanting to make some of them. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up down below so that I know to make more videos like this. All right, let's get into these recipes. The first recipe I'll be sharing with you today is slow cooker creamy Italian chicken. This is a favorite in our house. I've been making it for years. First, I put chicken in a greased slow cooker and I sprinkle a little bit of my seasoning on top. I'm using an Italian seasoning packet, and I'll use the rest later in the recipe. And the recipe calls for a can of creamy chicken soup, and I personally don't like canned cream of chicken soup, so I'm going to be making my own. Feel free to use a can of the chicken soup in place of this. It'll be easier, and at that point you can just add everything to your slow cooker. But to make a roux, I just add 2 tablespoons of butter. I let that melt, and then I add 4 tablespoons of Kodiak cake mix. You can also use just regular flour. And once it's mixed together, I add 2 cups of milk. I'm using skim milk in this. You can use whatever kind you would like. And you mix it all together, get the lumps out, and then you'll also want to bring this to a boil. And I will season it with garlic powder, real salt, pepper, onion powder, and then the chicken flavored better than bouillon. And once again, you'll want to bring it to a boil, and then you can turn it on low. At this point, I also add my block of cream cheese just so that it mixes in better. And I get it all blended together, and then I add the rest of that Italian packet. You'll want to make sure you have the Italian dressing packet, and I've also used like the off-brand kind, and it tastes the same to me. And once again, if you don't want to make your own roux, just add all of your ingredients to your slow cooker. Pour the mixture over my chicken in the slow cooker, and I cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours, and then I pull it out and I shred it and I add it back into the slow cooker. And I like to serve mine over brown rice. You can also serve it over noodles, cauliflower rice, spaghetti squash, and it would be absolutely delicious. I hope you guys try this recipe out. It's one of our favorites, and it is making me hungry just looking at it. If you are liking this cozy slow cooker recipe video so far, please give this video a thumbs up below. It will help my channel out so much, and I will know if I should make more content like this. The next recipe is homemade refried beans. Once you've had homemade refried beans, it's extremely difficult to eat the canned stuff. Beans are inexpensive and delicious. I soak a pound of refried beans overnight. After draining and rinsing the beans the next day, I add the beans to my slow cooker. I usually add half of an onion, which I was out of, and then I will add onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, real salt, which in my opinion is the best stuff, and then I add minced garlic. I just use the canned stuff for this one. After I season the beans, I cover them with water, or you could use a broth. I mix everything together, and I cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. I stir the beans regularly to make sure they don't burn, and I add more liquid as needed. Once the beans are soft, I mash them up with a potato masher. Some people prefer a more mashed consistency, so just do what you want to do. Some people will use like an immersion blender, and I prefer little chunks of beans in mine. To really get a nice flavor, I add 2 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of ketchup, and I'll even add a dash of milk until it reaches my desired consistency. And honestly, I taste it and I add more ketchup or salt or butter or milk to taste. We serve our refried beans as bean burritos. I cook up an uncooked flour tortilla, add some shredded cheese, and a healthy amount of beans. We top ours with jalapenos, cabbage, salsa, Greek yogurt, or some sour cream. They are delicious. You could also serve this as a dip or add it to tacos. This recipe makes a lot of beans. I love to make some freezer burritos so we aren't eating beans all week long. I cook up some tortillas, add cheese and beans. I wrap them up and freeze them on a baking sheet for a few hours. When they are frozen, I add them to a giant freezer bag. We use these for lunches or warm them up for a quick dinner. We found the best way to reheat them frozen is to cook in the microwave for about 45 seconds and then crisp them up in the toaster oven. You will be amazed at how delicious these are compared to the pre-made frozen stuff you can buy at the store. The next recipe I'm going to share with you is lentil taco soup. This soup is hearty and delicious. It's become a family favorite this winter for us. First, I add half of a diced onion to a sprayed slow cooker. I'll also add 3 cans of rinsed and drained black beans. You could also use a kidney bean and 1 cup of red lentils. To season this soup, I add a dash of ancho chili powder and then 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. I like to make my own taco seasoning and I just always have a jar on hand, or you can just use a packet. I also flavor it using 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, you'll see my little helper hands in there. My daughter loves to help me cook. So next, add 2 cans of tomato sauce. I also add 1 can of diced tomatoes. It can have the green chilies in it too. Mine didn't, but I think the green chilies would add a nice flavor. You could also add like a little can of chopped chilies too if you had that on hand. I also add 1.5 cups of frozen corn, but I didn't video it. You can also add it an hour before serving it, depending on how you like the consistency of your corn. I add 3 cups of vegetable broth. I think I just add an entire box. And I put it in my cans and shake it up to get all of the remaining tomato sauce. And then I mix everything together, and I also add 1/2 tablespoon of sugar to balance out the acidity in the tomato. Mix everything together and cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours. In a couple of hours, I taste it to see if it needs more seasoning, and I then will add my corn. And then we like to eat this with Greek yogurt on top or shredded cheese, homemade tortilla chips, or we just eat it plain, and it's delicious, warm, and hearty. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this every week. I hope you have a wonderful week and you remember that you are amazing.